Hey guys, what's going on? Kyle with Confident Canines here, and today I want to talk about socialization. I want to talk about what socialization is. Good, this is going to be a fun video. I want to talk about what socialization is for our dogs, and more importantly, what it isn't. I think that socialization is something that gets misinterpreted a lot. I think it's something that has, it's a word that gets used a lot, but I'm not sure that it gets used always to most accurately explain like what the benefits are and what can go wrong if dogs aren't properly socialized. So, socialization. Let's talk about first what it isn't, because that's what I think is at the crux of this issue. So what it isn't is, number one, it isn't just dogs going crazy running around in a dog park or running around in a backyard. It's not dogs going crazy jumping all over people or, just being allowed to, quote, be dogs. Not that I have a problem with dogs being dogs, but a lot of times, dogs being dogs gets used again to sort of explain away behavior that really isn't actually good. So, a lot of people go to, like I say, a dog park to socialize their dog. But what happens there is it's just anarchy a lot of the times. We're not even talking about your dog. Maybe your dog's well trained or well behaved, or it's a puppy and it's doing really well. But you're going to this place where there probably are a lot of untrained dogs. There are probably a lot of dogs with some bad habits. There are probably a lot of owners who aren't really paying attention to their dog very well. And that's not a slight at them. It's just the facts. People go and they start socializing, and next thing you know, they're not really watching their dogs. You have a lot of people who don't really know what to look for, even if they are watching their dog. They might not realize that their dog is maybe being a little too pushy. Maybe it's not being aggressive, but maybe it's being a little too pushy to a dog who's insecure or doesn't want to play. Or, the opposite. Maybe there's a dog that's being really pushy with their dog, and they don't really know how to deal with that. So, and the fact is that bad habits rub off as well. So, taking your dog to a dog park to sort of teach them good social skills, a lot of times is not going to get you where you're trying to go. In fact, your dog's just going to learn some bad habits. Your dog's going to get pushed around maybe. Your dog's gonna maybe just get too wound up, and those types of things. So I'm not saying dog parks are always bad, but a lot of times they are kind of bad. So, really be mindful if you are going to a dog park, what the dogs there are acting like, and whether or not you want that for your dog. Because, who your dog hangs out with is going to be indicative of, how they start behaving. And it's the same thing, with dogs who socialize with people. People, it's really important to them that their dog learn to be social with people, which I think I'm all for that, we want our dogs to be able to be around people. But again, that doesn't necessarily look like your dog going up and sniffing every stranger that they see, or your dog jumping on people. That doesn't really qualify as socialization. That qualifies as just sort of, again, like some bad habits, just sort of learning to do things that are, could hurt people, in terms of the jumping. And just, your dog doesn't have to meet everybody to be social. I think that's, kind of at the heart of the misunderstanding a lot of the time, is that people feel like their dog needs to meet other dogs, like face-to-face interactions, no sniffing butts. And the same thing, with people, their dog needs to meet people. Their dog needs to sniff people's hands up close and personal. He needs to lick their face. He needs to take food from them. And, none of those things are inherently bad, but it's not necessarily, it's not necessary for your dog to do that to everybody. And it's not always a good thing either, because then you do have this dog that, might end up, becoming overly excited around people, might start pulling you on walks, to go towards people and that kind of thing, because they start expecting that interaction. You sort of can condition your dog to anticipate interaction, with either other dogs or other people. So that's a little bit about what I don't think socialization is, or at least not good socialization that's going to create the results that people are looking for. So what is good socialization? Well, good socialization is dogs playing. If your dog likes to play, then that's cool. That's great. But it needs to be, reciprocal. It needs to be with dogs who have some structure to them. I mean, they don't have to be perfect, but they need to be dogs who aren't pushy or snotty or overbearing or things like that. Certainly, not dogs who could be aggressive or prone to being aggressive under certain circumstances. And the same with people. Your dog can learn to be social just by being around other people and being around other dogs. And that is the key. Okay, coexistence can lead to fantastic socialization that gives you a well-adjusted, well-balanced dog, which is what you're looking for. That's why people want to socialize their dogs a lot of the time. They're trying to create a well-adjusted social dog. And so you can achieve that without getting a lot of bad habits through coexistence. And so what do we mean by coexistence? How do we achieve coexistence? Well, we can achieve coexistence through things like place command or down command, or a good heel on leash. So, heeling your dog on leash around other dogs, around people, downtown or in your neighborhood or around kids playing, and your dog learning how to just be with other people without getting too excited, without getting whiny, without pulling, those types of things. And the same with place or down, having your dog learn how to be in place while you have friends over for dinner or something like that, or your kids are playing, or you're working with your other dog, or your cat is wandering through the house, or having your dog be in a down at a restaurant or a cafe, while other people and other dogs are there, and learning how to do so calmly, without getting antsy and worked up and whining and all that kind of stuff. That to me is really productive socialization. Again, we're not saying that your dog can't play with other dogs, that's a great thing. But, socialization, I think, is balanced like a lot of things. So it can have that high drive, high excitement, playtime aspect to it. But if that's all it is, then you might have problems. You need to balance it out with low drive, calmness, patience, relaxed, coexistence, and so you have a little bit of each, and you can turn on and turn off your dog. You can let your dog go have a lot of fun and be excited, but then you can also, flip that off switch and say, okay, now we're just going to walk calmly and we're going to walk home, or, whatever the case may be. So that's just my thoughts on socialization. I think it's a hot topic in the world of dog training and dog ownership. Like I said, I think it's something that is misunderstood. Simply it's just something that I think, it's a word that gets tossed around a lot without always, considering all the different aspects to it. So if your dog is struggling, with getting too excited around people, getting too excited around other dogs, training a really good heel, training a really good place command and a really good down command, and proofing that in public around high distractions is really, really going to help. And you won't destroy your dog's drive. You won't turn your dog into a sad, mopey dog. You'll turn your dog into a relaxed, calm, happy dog that knows how to be social in different ways. So those are my thoughts on socialization. I'll leave it right there. Let me know if you have any questions. I'd love to hear what you think down in the comment section. And, tell me what socialization means to you. Tell me what you do to socialize your dog, and tell me how it's working for you, because that's just what I think. I want to know what you think, and I want to know how everything's working for you. So until the next video, thanks for checking me out, and I'll see you next time.